the girls are here.
Oh, okay.
So, yep.
Namo
We kickstart.
Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvachayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam। हम सेमेस्टर 5 के मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक 6 छठवें अधिकार में है, जो आज पूर्णाहुति उसकी होने जा रही है। तो हम एक बार उसका मंगलाचरण भी कर लेते हैं। मिथ्या देवादिक भजे, हो है मिथ्या भाव, तज तिन को साचे भजो, यह हित हेत उपाय। चलो, तो आज पिछले क्लास की समरी करने जा रही हैं। डॉली जी कर रही थी, कौन कर रहा था, आई फॉरगॉट। अमिता जी शायद, राइट? अमिता जी करेंगी।
यस मैम। जय जिनेन्द्र। मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक के अधिकार 6 के पेज नंबर 180 से 184 को मैं समराइज करने जा रही हूँ। मेरी वॉइस क्लियर है?
आ रही है, बिल्कुल क्लियर है।
ओके। कुगुरु का सेवन निषेध है, इस कथन को दृढ़ करने के लिए कुछ शास्त्रों को आधार मानते हुए हम इन दोहों का वर्णन करते हैं। उपदेश सिद्धांत रत्नमाला में से ये दोहे लिए गए हैं। मैं इन दोहों का सिर्फ अर्थ करूंगी। काल दोष के कारण कुछ गुरु दातार की प्रशंसा करते हैं, जिससे वे अधिक से अधिक दान दें। ऐसे दातार और पात्र दोनों ही संसार में डूबते हैं। सर्प को देखकर यदि कोई व्यक्ति भागे तो उसे कोई कुछ नहीं कहता, परंतु यदि कुगुरु, जो स्वयं सर्प के समान ही हैं, यदि उन्हें देखकर कोई भागे या छोड़े तो मंद बुद्धि लोग उसे दुष्ट कहते हैं। सर्प से तो केवल एक ही बार मृत्यु होती है, परंतु कुगुरु तो अनंत बार तक जन्म और मरण कराता है। कहीं कोई रंग का बालक जो क्षुधा से पीड़ित है, भूख से पीड़ित है, चैत्यालय आदि में जाकर दीक्षा ग्रहण करने से पाप रहित नहीं होता, फिर भी वह आचार्य पद प्राप्त कर स्वयं को इंद्रवत महान मानता है, बाकी सभी को अज्ञानी और गृहस्थों को रंकवत मानता है। यह कितने आश्चर्य की बात है। नीचे पुरुष का जिस चीज का निषेध होता है, उत्तम पुरुष का सहज ही निषेध हो जाता है। अब दर्शन पाहुण से लिए गए कुछ दोहे हैं। जो जीव सम्यक से रहित हैं, वे वंदना योग्य नहीं हैं। जो दर्शन में भ्रष्ट हैं, ज्ञान में भ्रष्ट हैं, चारित्र में भ्रष्ट हैं, वे जीव भ्रष्ट से भी भ्रष्ट हैं, और जो जीव इनका उपदेश मानते हैं, उनका भी नाश ही होता है। जो स्वयं सम्यक्त से भ्रष्ट हैं और सम्यक्तधारियों से अपने पैर पड़वाना चाहते हैं, वे स्थावर ही होते हैं। उन्हें बोध की प्राप्ति महादुर्लभ है। जो जानते हुए भी लज्जा, गारव और भय से उनके पैरों को पड़ते हैं, उन्हें पाप की अनुमोदना का फल मिलता है। अब सूत्र पाहुण, भाव पाहुण और मोक्ष पाहुण से। जिनके मुनि मुद्रा में थोड़ा सा भी परिग्रह है, जिन वचन में वे निंदा योग्य हैं, जो धर्म में निरुद्यमी हैं, दोषों का घर हैं, गुण और आचरण से रहित हैं, वे नट श्रमण भेषधारी ही हैं, इससे अधिक कुछ भी नहीं। जो पंच प्रकार वस्त्र में आसक्त हैं, परिग्रह ग्रहण करने वाले हैं, कर्म दोषों में रत हैं, उन्हें मोक्ष मार्ग में हमेशा भ्रष्ट ही मानना चाहिए। नगर में रहना तो दूर, नगर के समीप भी रहना निषेध होता है, परंतु कलिकाल में तपस्वी भयभीत होकर वन से नगर की ओर वास करते हैं। परमात्मा प्रकाश से लिए गए कुछ दोहों का अर्थ। ऐसा तप जिससे अनंत संसार में भ्रमण होने वाला है, उससे तो गृहस्थ पना ही भला बताया गया है। जिन्होंने राख से केश लौंच किया हो, परंतु समस्त परिग्रह नहीं छोड़ा हो, उन्होंने अपनी ही आत्मा को ठगा है। मुनि जिन लिंग धारण करके इष्ट परिग्रह ग्रहण करते हैं, वे अपनी ही उल्टी का भक्षण करने के समान ही है। आहार आदि के संबंध में मुनियों के लिए भ्रामरी विधि बताई है, परंतु वे आसक्त होकर उसका पालन नहीं करते। ऐसे गृहस्थ जो धर्म में उचित भी नहीं है, अन्यायी हैं, लोक निंदनीय हैं, पाप रूप कार्य करते हैं, उनसे भी आहार दान लेना उचित नहीं है। जो पूजनीय हैं, जैसे कि जिन बिंब शास्त्रादिक, उनकी तो अभिनय करते हैं और स्वयं को महान बताकर उच्च आसन पे बैठाकर स्वयं को मुनि मानना, मूल गुण आदि को धारण करना एवं गृहस्थ जो भोले हैं उनके आगे अपना महिमा मंडन करना, ये मिथ्यात्व का फल ही है। इससे अनंत संसार ही होगा। इन सब से तो गुरु ना ही हो वो ही भला है। फिर कोई कहता है कि यदि गुरु नहीं है तो फिर हम निगुरा कहलाएंगे। जो गुरु को नहीं मानता, जो गुरु को मानता ही नहीं है, जो गुरु को माने परंतु इस क्षेत्र में गुरु का लक्षण ना देखकर किसी को गुरु ना माने, इस श्रद्धांत से निगुरा नहीं है। इसका मतलब है कि निगुरा वो कहलाते हैं जो गुरु को ही नहीं मानते, परंतु जो गुरु को तो मानते हैं पर इस क्षेत्र में जो गुरु के लक्षण हैं वो उन्हें किसी गुरु में दिखाई नहीं देते, तो इसलिए वो निगुरा नहीं कहलाएंगे। जैसे कि जो नास्तिक हैं वो परमेश्वर को नहीं मानते, परंतु जो परमेश्वर को मानते हैं परंतु परमेश्वर के जो लक्षण जिनमें नहीं दिखाई देते, इस वजह से वो परमेश्वर को नहीं मानते, तो वो नास्तिक नहीं कहलाएंगे। जैन शास्त्रों में केवली का तो अभाव बताया है परंतु मुनि का नहीं। अब भरत क्षेत्र तो बहुत बड़ा है, कहीं सद्भाव होगा मुनि का, इसलिए अभाव नहीं माना जाता। यदि इस क्षेत्र में नहीं तो किसी और क्षेत्र में होंगे। जो मुनि है, सच्चे मुनि, सच्चे गुरु जो हैं वो कहीं तो होंगे, इसलिए कहा गया है कि मुनि तो हैं परंतु केवली का अभाव है। जैसे हंसों का सद्भाव वर्तमान में कहा है, हंस दिखाई नहीं देते तो क्या अन्य पक्षियों को हंस मान लिया जाएगा? बिल्कुल उसी प्रकार यदि आपको मुनि सच्चे मुनि नहीं दिखाई देते तो आप किसी को भी मुनि नहीं माने, जो सम्यक भी हैं सिर्फ उन्हीं को मुनि माने। दैट्स इट।
वेरी गुड समरी। और ये जो लास्ट का पार्ट बताया वो क्लास में हमने भी किया था, क्योंकि लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर गोइंग टू फेस दिस कि सपोज यू आर कमिंग फ्रॉम स्थानकवासी परंपरा और विच एवर, कि भाई आप तो साधु को मानते ही नहीं हो। दिगंबरों में भी ये बहुत बड़ा विरोध किया जाता है कि कि मुनि मुनि नहीं मानते हैं कई लोग। इसलिए कांजी स्वामी का बहुत दिगंबरों ने विरोध किया, क्योंकि जब उन्होंने ये बात खुलासा किया कि भाई मुनि का क्या स्वरूप है आप अच्छे से समझो और उस हिसाब से मानो, तो लोगों को बहुत बड़ा विरोध हो गया। बिकॉज मुनि इज अ बिग हाई थिंग इन द सोसाइटी, कि आप उनको नहीं मानने को बोल रहे हो। वो जो बहरल जी या कांजी स्वामी तो हमारे मुनियों को ही नहीं मानते हैं, इसलिए दे आर बैड पीपल टाइप्स। सो वो क्या बोल रहे हैं कि मुनि को तो हम मानते हैं, बहुत अहोभाव है। जो सच्चे मुनि हैं उनका जो स्वरूप हमने समझा है, पढ़ा है, उसके प्रति हमें बहुत अत्यंत अहोभाव है। पर अगर वैसे मुनि अभी नहीं हमें नजर आते तो हम जबरदस्ती गलत को नहीं, जैसे हंस का एग्जाम्पल दिया, हंस नहीं अभी दिखते हैं तो कोई भी चिड़िया को हंस मान लो, ऐसे तो नहीं हो सकता ना। तो और फिर भी मुनि पना समझना, उसको मानना, वो बहुत जरूरी है। ओके, so now हेमल will summarize the कुधर्म निरूपण और उसके श्रद्धानादि का निषेध।
Prabhaji, I actually have some questions related to the thing you just said, that there are people that are opposing the work done by Kanji Swami because he is saying that there are no munis,
No, he's
that
not saying no munis, but currently what we are able to reach, they exist, but yes, in that sense, yeah.
but he is talking about his time, like he lived till 1980, from 1946 to 1980. So in that span of time, he did not come in contact with any
Right, that's
Sache Guru, is my
right.
understanding of the statement of his. And but does that mean that there were no Sache Gurus, or he just didn't have the bhagya of being in contact with one?
The latter, that's what Amitaji just read, कि देखो केवली का तो पंचम काल में अभाव बताया, so we know we will not be able to see a केवली, पर मुनि का अभाव नहीं बताया, which means they exist. We haven't been able to reach. Even during Kanji Swami's time, he could not meet one.
So then
That doesn't mean they don't exist. The world is so big. Bharat
right.
Kshetra is so big.
Right. Now, so then I think I just saw this yesterday. I was looking at something and I found that, about them saying that this is wrong. And I also thought that what they are saying that people who follow Kanji Swami do not follow any munis and don't worship any munis. So that is wrong from
That
this
is wrong
perspective
statement.
of
Yes,
this
that is wrong statement because
Pandit
Kanji Swami
Todarmal.
himself always praised the Muni. तो always praised the Muni व्रत मुनि का इतना अहोभाव उनको मन में था. See, अभी अमेरिका में suppose let's say we cannot get even these sadhus, जो अभी prevalent हैं, वो सच्चे नहीं भी हैं तो भी they are following some चारित्र. तो वो तो नहीं अमेरिका आएंगे ना, because सच्चे मुनि तो पैर से चल के ही जाते हैं, नहीं यूज कर सकते. Does that mean we cannot have अहोभाव for the Muni? No. Like lot of people, before they take the first bite or before they drink something in the morning, they say कि ओहो कब मेरे भाग्य हो कि कोई मुनि मेरे द्वार पे आए और मैं उसको आहार दूं. They know कि अमेरिका में तो नहीं आने वाले हैं, फिर भी भाव तो कर सकते हैं.
We still
Huh.
carry on.
No, please.
It still poses that question though, right? Is that who are the true munis that exist in this current time?
Yeah, so if you cannot see, your purpose should be to know the truth, to know the tattva properly. You should know the सच्चे मुनि का स्वरूप, क्योंकि आगे जाके मैं अगले जन्म में मुनि बनूंगी और मुझे सच्चे मुनि का वही नहीं पता. मुनिपना is a prerequisite to reaching moksha.
Yeah.
You can only go reach moksha in the muni dasha, right? और मुझे मुनि दशा ही नहीं पता कि सच्चा मुनि क्या होता है, तो मुझे कैसे सम्यक दर्शन होगा और कैसे मैं आगे प्रोग्रेस करूंगी. So is it more important for me to worry about कि सोसाइटी में इतने सारे साधु वेश में लोग हैं और हम उनको नहीं मान पा रहे हैं, और is it more important that I should believe in only the सच्चे मुनि and मुनि का स्वरूप I should know? So either in this life or in any future lives, when I get to meet the सच्चा मुनि, then I will know what it is, and that is what I will want to be. अगर मैंने सोच लिया कि ये कपड़े वाले या जो चाय पी रहे हैं, जो रूटीन श्रावकों की तरह जी रहे हैं, वही सच्चे मुनि हैं, तो आगे जाकर दैट कुड बी वन ऑफ द रीजंस व्हाई आज भी जो श्वेतांबरी जो भी दीक्षा ले रहे हैं, उनके पूर्व से संस्कार ऐसे लेके आए हैं. तो हम भी अपने संस्कार क्या गलत करना चाहते हैं? नहीं. वी वॉन्ट टू नो द ट्रूथ. We don't want to criticize or worry about what the other person is doing. उनकी अपनी योग्यता है, उनके अपना पर्यायगत जो भी चल रहा है, पर हमें अपना तो करना पड़ेगा ना. We are not responsible for somebody not following correctly or anything, but we are responsible for our own understanding of the सच्चा मुनि. और कांजी स्वामी को तो बहुत भक्ति आती थी मुनि के प्रति, और इतने अच्छे अच्छे मुनियों के लिए भजन लिखे गए. वो क्यों? क्योंकि मुनि की प्रति भक्ति बहुत थी उनको.
Ma'am, what's the difference between Kevli and Muni?
केवली इज ऑल्सो मुनि. मुनि होके ही आप केवली हो सकते हो, बट केवली इज द वन हु इज रीच द अल्टीमेट.
They are arhants
अरिहंस.
because they have
मुनि में
destroyed.
अभी सारा पूरा नहीं
They are
हुआ है.
vitragi. That's why they are
Not
Kevli.
100% vitragi, but
Oh.
Muni are on the path of the Aryans.
Muni is on the path, but the Kevli is vitragi, is what I wanted to say. Yeah.
But ma'am, are Kevli Arihants or they are not?
Yes, they are.
They are arhants.
All Kevlis are Aryans. Only some are Tirthankar, जिनके की दिव्य ध्वनि खिलती है.
Ma'am, can
केवली
you
के कितने
give us a
गुण स्थान होते
specific?
हैं?
हाँ,
गुण स्थान कितने केवली के कहे जाएंगे?
गुणस्थान तो 14वां गुणस्थान है ना केवली का. तो
केवली का. ओके.
और फिर जब
जो अरिहंतों का
मोक्ष हो
होता
जाता
है,
है तो 9 गुणस्थान
सिद्ध
सिद्ध. या
अभी सिद्ध होते हैं.
तो
प्रभाजी,
मतलब जितने
14वां नहीं,
अरिहंत है वो
सॉरी,
सब
13वां.
केवली में
14th is for a very little time. या
yeah, 13वां.
हाँ, तो 13वें गुण स्थान के बाद जैसे ही 14वां गुण स्थान होता है वो अरहंत हो जाते हैं.
नहीं, अरिहंत 13वें में ही होता.
ओके.
Ma'am, can you give us
You're
Uh,
muted.
yeah, ma'am, can you give us a short definition of Kevli, please?
So
Just
Kevli
precise.
is the one who has reached complete ज्ञानावर्णीय का पूरा क्षय, दर्शनावर्णीय का पूरा क्षय, जो चार घाती कर्म है ना वो उन्होंने पूरे निकाल दिए.
Antaray karma and
अंतराय
Mohnai karma.
and मोहनीय.
Mohniya karma, sorry. Both darshan and
So-
charitra, both
Right.
are gone.
और जो बाकी नाम कर्म और वो सब जो बच गए, those are
Bhakti.
only related to the body.
Body.
So when his ayu karma is finished, then all the others also go,
Hmm.
and he reaches the siddh.
तो मैम इसका मतलब यही हुआ कि केवली और अरिहंत सेम है.
Same, yes.
सेम है मतलब ये सिर्फ नेम अलग है सेम.
Same, yes.
In the Kevlis,
In
there are
general,
types.
केवली word use होता है केवल ज्ञान के लिए. But जब केवल ज्ञान होता है तो केवल दर्शन भी होता है और बाकी भी वो
तो
तीन
मैम फिर
सारे.
बाहुबली भगवान जो हैं उनको तीर्थंकर तो नहीं कहते, उनको केवली
नहीं.
कहते हैं.
वो तीर्थंकर नहीं हुए. जो तीर्थंकर के अलग उनका अलग पुण्य बंध था, जिनको तीर्थंकर नाम कर्म का बंध होता है वही तीर्थंकर कहलाते. तो
तो बाहुबली
तीर्थंकर
भगवान
नाम
क्या
कर्म
कहे
के
जाएंगे?
उदय में दिव्य ध्वनि कीर्ति है, वो महामंडल होता है, वो चंवर होते हैं, वो सब होते हैं. तो all तीर्थंकर्स have to be केवली, but not all केवलीज have to be तीर्थंकर. और
केवली
not
बाहुबली
all
भगवान
अरिहंत्स have
कहलाते
to be तीर्थंकर either. पर
हैं.
all
बाहुबली भगवान
तीर्थंकर्स have to be
सभी तो
अरिहंत.
तीर्थंकर बनेंगे या केवली ही रहेंगे?
केवली
वो
ही
तो
रहे.
गए, सिद्ध
उन्होंने
हो गए अब.
सिद्ध हो गए, अभी नहीं
Not
आएंगे
all अरिहंत्स have
तीर्थंकर
to be
बनने.
तीर्थंकर्स.
It's like Bhagwan Ram. He became Kevli. He's done. He's now in Siddhashila. He's not coming back. He never
He's
became
not coming
Tirthankar.
back as तीर्थंकर or anything.
Nothing.
Whereas Ravan, on the other hand,
Will
will
come
come
back
back,
as
come
Tirthankar.
Kevli, become Tirthankar, and then go to moksha.
Prabhaji, I'm still not done with my queries. So one of the
Okay.
things they said in that thing that I heard was that there is no Muni that comes and consecrates the pratimas in the temples that have been built by the followers of Kanji Swami. Is that true?
Yeah, because Kanji Swami में साधु नहीं करते प्रतिमा का जो they call it प्राण प्रतिष्ठा.
Huh.
So it's the pandits who are doing.
So why
But there
is
need to
that?
be but there are requirements of those pandits. They have to be brahmachari and they're very close to sadhus.
But then
But
is
they're
that
not
what
called
is, it's that what is written in the text that is allowed?
But वैसे
That
तो
you can have one without a Muni consecration?
I am not aware of if there is a text of what are the requirements to do that.
Agam, you know, an Agam saying that it is okay to do it that way. That's what I'm curious about.
I wouldn't know the answer to that right.
उसपे तो भावलिंगी मुनि जो होते हैं, जो निर्वस्त्र होकर फिर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करते हैं, उसी को माना जाता है
Maybe
पूजनीय.
that is what it is in the Agam. That's probably what it says then.
That's
So
what is
then,
it.
does that mean doing Naman or Vandana to the other Pratimas is wrong?
I don't know if I would call it wrong because Pratima में तो हम क्या देख रहे हैं?
भगवान के गुण.
गुण, right? और मैंने आपको समझाया कि प्रतिमा की जो मुद्रा है वो ही अगर लाइव भगवान होते तो भी होती. क्यों होती? क्यों बताया था आपको क्यों होती वैसा?
क्योंकि वो पंच कल्याणक कर दिया उनका.
No. I explained to you guys why if there was a live Bhagwan sitting versus a stone ki pratima, you would not really see much difference. And I explained to you why.
I don't remember.
He is not using his indriyas. जब वो केवली होते हैं तो वो अपनी आत्मा से ही देख रहे हैं, आत्मा से ही दिव्य ध्वनि खिल रही है. So they are not using their indriya, so their eyes are not moving anymore because they're not needing their eyes to see. See, अगर आप आंख से देख रहे हो तो आंख आपकी अप डाउन भी होगी, राइट लेफ्ट भी होगी, इमोशन भी होगा when you see somebody, None of that is happening.
प्रतिमा में तो नहीं होगा क्योंकि प्रतिमा
लाइव में भी नहीं होगा इस what I'm
लाइव
saying.
में भी नहीं होता है, वो भी
हाँ.
करेक्ट है.
तो हम जब प्रतिमा के दर्शन करते हैं, हम तो उसको लाइव तीर्थंकर समझ के हमें दर्शन करना है कि भाई
हाँ.
ये लाइव एंड जो प्राण प्रतिष्ठा वो हमें अपने में करनी है. The
How
whole
is
purpose
that?
of
What
doing
is the
this whole
pran pratishtha in myself? What is that?
honestly, I need to research that a little bit more because exactly वो पत्थर में क्या होता है, even I don't know. So I'll have to find out. But the reason for Pratishtha Mahotsav and all that is when they do the Panchakalyanak, all the beings that come, they see भगवान के वो 5 अलग अलग कल्याणक, उससे उनको वो निमित्त बनता है उनके सम्यक दर्शन में. इसलिए पंचकल्याणक में ज्वाइन होने को प्रोत्साहन दिया जाता है. तो वो पंचकल्याणक आपके लिए है कि वो आपकी ज्ञान की वृद्धि में निमित्त बने, आपके सम्यक दर्शन के में निमित्त बने. वो जब आप देखते हो कि भगवान के पास इतना वैभव था, उनके जन्म पे इतना सब कुछ हुआ था जो कि मेरे जन्म में तो नहीं हुआ था, yet he found this better to give it all up. So that encourages you, that makes you wonder that who am I, and what is all this?
So then how important is
तो
this
प्राणों की
consecration?
प्रतिष्ठा तो अपने प्राणों में करनी जरूरी है.
But how important is this consecration by a Bhaulingi Muni of a Pratima that is in a temple?
I would have to find that out. I really don't.
The reason I said is because we have also read that Kudev ke piche, if we follow, then we can also go to Degodh.
नहीं, मूर्ति कुदेव नहीं हो जाती है क्योंकि
हाँ.
मूर्ति में तो हम अपने दिल में उसकी स्थापना कर रहे हैं कि ये तीर्थंकर है. यू अंडरस्टैंड? सो वो सब रिचुअल की बात छोड़ दो कि रिचुअल से लोग बोलते हैं प्राण प्रतिष्ठित मूर्ति ही रियल मूर्ति है, बट लाइक इन द यूएस most murtis are technically not pran pratishtha, even though they say some
have
they've done the pran pratishtha in India, then brought it over. Some they did it here. Some Panditji, whatever, came and did it and all that. And since I am not into all this, I really don't know the answers to these questions. But I can find out if you guys have interest in it.
The reason I ask is actually my mom gave us one little one of Pratima of Bhagwan Parshvanath. My daughter is asking me all these questions. So now I don't know what to give her as answers, which is why now I'm trying to figure out. But this other thing I found out, just generally, I was looking at the Songad Panch Kalyanak thing and this thing was popped up on the side. So I said, what are they talking about? Now, the question I have is, while studying through Parmagam honors, are we is it true that we can only learn from Bhaulingi Muni and we cannot learn from Panditji and Shastriji?
No, that is not true. Even a non-samyaktvi can be nimit in your samyaktva.
Okay.
So that is not a problem at all. No.
So that would be
But
that.
the tattva आपका सही होना चाहिए. जो आप सुन रहे हो, जो समझ रहे हो, focus should be more and on the, am I getting the right tattva or am I getting deviated tattva?
Yeah, am I getting the right bhav of what they are teaching?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See, अगर कोई खुद सम्यक्त्व नहीं है, फिर भी वो सही बात बता रहा है, हालांकि उसका काल नहीं आया तो उसको अभी नहीं सम्यक्त्व हुआ है, पर वो समझा अच्छे से रहा है आपको, they can be nimit in your samyaktva.
So they cannot be kuguru.
No, they cannot be kukuru because they are still following the right path. When samyak darshan happens to them is a matter of time.
Okay. I am ready to talk about Kudharma.
Okay, so let's do that. Then we move on to the 8th.
Right. So in this, the main thing that they are trying to answer is, what is the Swarup of Kudharma? And why is it important to know the Swarup? Because only then, knowing the Swarup of Kudharma, we can identify it in ourselves if we are participating in any of these activities. The other thing that they said is, this list is not just limited to what I'm going to name to you. There will be other Kudharma activities too. And they are saying to apply the knowledge you've learned to identify these Kudharma activities. But in the list that they have talked about, they have said that if the activity, believing it is dharma, when in those activities, pap utpan hota hai, example, yagna, animal sacrifice, or napping in a tirth kshetra, उन सब से पाप उत्पन्न होता है, then that cannot be real dharma. That is kudharma. But if you it is, and if you believe in that, then you are following kudharma is what it becomes. And think of each sentence I state with respect to the second part of the sentence that I said. The second one is जहां विषय कषाय की वृद्धि होती है, that is also believing that I'm doing dharma is wrong. Examples of that would be you have big celebrations with music and dance and food and perfume and dressing up and all these things, then that is kudharma. The other thing is if you are bathing in tirtha kshetras, that is kudharma. I think this is with respect to, in Hindus, they take bath in the Ganges river. I think they are pointing that out, that is actually wrong to do in a purified place, like a place of tirtha. Then I didn't understand this part, but they said giving charity for Sankranti and eclipse and etc. I don't know what this charity for
That is
Sankranti
because,
is.
you know, like here, if let's say somebody comes and asks you for money for a Halloween party, you pay for it. In India, it's very prevalent. In the neighborhoods, people come, Holi jalane ke liye chanda de do, Sankranti mein who knows what they do, uske liye chanda de do. And because you want to be a good neighbor, you sometimes feel compelled to do that.
Oh. So that money for the Halloween party would be counted towards kudharma.
Yes.
Also Christmas party then.
Yep. Yep.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, anybody? Next is giving gold, animals, sesame seeds in dan. I don't know why they specifically mentioned sesame seeds. Till. What is till?
I don't know.
I'll read it and tell you from the book.
It's not till, it's maybe tail, because
Tel
जैसे
hoga, yeah, tel. Because, you know, in India, there is
शिव जी को लिए
Sanichar Baba aate hain. There
शनिचर
is
बाबा
this,
को देते
somebody
हैं, तो
started
काला
ki
कुछ
on the
लेके और
Saturday, the Saturn Grah is bad for you. So then if you give oil, it will clear up whatever. Okay. So this,
मैम
in
तिल
India,
का
there is
तिल
this.
का दान भी किया जाता है, संक्रांति पर तिल का दान भी किया जाता है।
संक्रांति पे करते हैं, but
Oh, okay, I see. See, ये तिल गुड़ का जो भी रिवाज है, maybe people
whatever it
give.
is, it is
I think
उसी
these are all these socio-economic traditions that have started to, you know, take care of the people who don't have enough. इसी बहाने मांग के वो ला सकते हैं, that type of thing
बहुत
is what
चीजें
I
गाय
think.
के लिए दान मांगते हैं, बहुत
Yeah,
सारी चीजें हैं।
right.
So now I'm not finding the word till, but
It's okay. She said na कि संक्रांति पे तिल, because
संक्रांति पे होता है।
संक्रांति is known for til.
So-
Maybe you are supposed to donate. If somebody comes at your door, you're supposed to give them til. So that's what they are उसका निषेध कर रहे हैं कि वो
but
नहीं.
doing this is all pap,
This is all
hinsa.
पाप, because
and
what you're thinking is कि वो Saturn मेरा कुछ कर देगा, और हमारा तो क्या बोल रहा है ग्रंथ, कोई किसी का कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता, तो हम क्यों उसके लिए दान दे रहे हैं? That's what they're.
So then all these havans and all of that
They're all पाप. They're all पाप. Now, so there's two things. Okay, one is क्योंकि क्या होता है इंडिया में, when you do this, तिल का दान किया, suppose, right? अगर आपको पता है अपना धर्म and you know, like, you know, एक द्रव्य दूसरे का नहीं कर सकता, वो सब तो ठीक है. And even if you know, कई बार क्या होता है, आपके नेबर ने कहा, अच्छा संक्रांति पे तिल के दान से ना आपका फलाना हो जाएगा, your बहू is not getting a बेटा, वो हो जाएगा. Now what have they done? Put this seed in you कि वो करने से पर चांस आपने दिया और हो गया वो काम. You are done in मिथ्यात्व now forever. कि तिल का दान करने से मेरे बहू को बेटा हो गया. And that's why they say to refrain from it. Otherwise आप किसी को तिल्ली ऐसे ही दे दो, डोनेशन, किसी को भूखा बैठा दे दो, it's not a problem. But you should understand why they are trying to object to these things.
But what about, your friend gives you tilgud because they say tilgud khani, sweet, sweet
Ah,
boy.
that
वो
is fine.
चलेगा?
That is
अच्छा,
fine. Yeah. Because
okay,
there's no like religious per se attached to it. Yeah.
right. Next point is
So,
giving to
so
low
once you understand the proper religion, you should also be able to separate the social things from the religious things. In India or even here, a lot of religion and social things are mixed up. Because there was a time कि खाना पीना उठना बैठना सब कुछ रिलीजन से ही मतलब सब लोग तो रागी हैं तो किसी ने डिसाइड कर लिया कि चलो राम जी का बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट करो और उसको धर्म मान लो अभी वो सैटर्न का कुछ चल रहा है चलो उसमें तेल दान करो धर्म मान लो उसको सो दैट इज व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू से कि उसका सब निषेध करो भाई तुम अदरवाइज कर लो कुकी एक्सचेंज क्रिसमस पे ही क्यों करनी है राइट where I lived in Pittsburgh, the whole neighborhood एक जगह मिलते थे सब लोग डजन कुकी ला रहे हैं सब एक्सचेंज कर रहे हैं like what's the point, what does it have to do with Christ? But
That was
then you have to understand that this has nothing to do with religion. ठीक है छुट्टी के टाइम है तो they're just doing an activity to get the neighbors close together.
But Prabhaji, in that other thing we said previously, we read that अपना मान्यता सही हो, मगर
हाँ
वो खोटा है, तो it is still
बिल्कुल
dharma.
right. So you
So
shouldn't
then
be
how does
doing
that
the
work?
reason I told you why, because अगर आप वो चीजें करने लगो आपकी मान्यता पहले सही थी पर फिर वो इतनी बार आपके ऊपर हैमर होता है कि ये करने से ये हो जाता है then your mind also starts thinking that way. That's the reason उसको पाप मानते हैं.
Then they said giving to lobhi people because you don't know how lobhi people will use the dan. And
Yes.
then the other thing is if they are also people that want to increase their own man, then these are also the wrong people to give donations to. The next thing they talk about is doing vrat, etc. But if this is with an increase in hinsa, so that you're doing vrat but eating potato, or focusing on too much on the taste, then you're increasing Vishay Kashai. So I think the potato is with reference to Hindu vrats. And the other part is the Jain people could be focused on swad. It has to be tasty food. So they do ambil oli, but because they are going to get dhokla and this and that to eat, that's why they are doing it.
Or
Then
I've
all
seen
this
people
is
sit 3
Kudharm.
hours. They've kind of sat through 2 meal times and eaten.
Yeah, time, increase time and increase amount of food you eat. All that is Kudharma.
The bottom line is what is dharma? You understand if you are doing something, you're doing to reduce your Vishay Kashaya, to make practice of reducing your rag. So if I'm doing upvas today, my purpose is not to show off that, oh, I did upvas or upvas mein to chalo, none of those things will apply, what you eat and all that. But still, if my purpose is that, yes, I'm trying to practice that I'm not the eater. I'm not, like I said, one of the other goals of youth should be that there should be nothing you cannot do without that practice. So, okay, so I can live one day without food. What's the big deal? So, वो कोई भी चीज पे dependent, like I said, soul dharma is the ultimate independence. So, do it with that attitude. कि I'm not dependent on this food. और जब वो एटीट्यूड होगा तो आप नरक में भी पहुंच जाओगे नरक में कुछ खाने को नहीं मिलेगा who cares my soul doesn't need to eat anyways I've already practiced that enough I've brought that sanskar with me okay continue
Next, in the time of Vrat, if you use the time that you're not spending on cooking and eating, but then you're teasing other people, you're gambling, and you're not focusing on Swabhav, that falls under Kudharma. When
yeah
you're
there's this particular vrat that these Hindus do Karwa Chauth, right? So now they're staying hungry all day, right? Which is not
basically and
similar but kind of like the whole day Jain upvas. But what do? Oh, because it is parampara in Punjabis or whoever that they have to do this after marriage. तो करना तो पड़ेगा. Now they have the भूख नहीं tolerate हो रही है बार-बार याद आ रही है खाने की. So to distract themselves, they go watch a movie, they go to the parlor, they put mehndi, they spend their whole time doing that. So what good is that? अपने आप को भूख से तड़पाया भी सही और पाप और बांधे. Right?
Yes. When you're doing bhakti, then you're increasing hinsa or kashai if along with bhakti or watching dance or eating tasty food, is what they said. Then, it's important to refrain. It is important to refrain from these activities and actually to focus on doing good for your swabhav, getting close to your swabhav. Next is they talked about engaging in sharir klesh. And that whole paragraph went a little bit to the tops for me. And I can read the
Take
paragraph.
that in here. Yeah, tell the page number and paragraph.
It's 189. It's the last two paragraphs over there. I don't even know some of these things they're talking about.
और तथा कितने ही शरीर को तो क्लेश उत्पन्न करते हैं और वहां हिंसादिक उत्पन्न करते हैं, वह कषायादि रूप जैसे पंचाग्नि तपते. So this is again, I don't know if Jains do as much, but they Hindus definitely do. कि वो पंचाग्नि तपते हैं, फिर अग्नि से बड़े छोटे. So what they think is कि I am tolerating, making my body tolerant. So जैसे आग लगा लेंगे and they'll stay around that heat. Means your body is getting very hot and they're trying to tolerate that. That is called panchagni tap. But they're saying that is wrong because आपने अग्नि लगा के इतने सारे जीवों की हिंसा की, तो वो तप का क्या फायदा है? And Jains usually don't do that. Jains करेंगे तो वो आताप तप करते हैं where they sit in the sun. So sun is already there. They're not killing anybody for that. But they're still making their body more resilient. So that is that paragraph. And then तथा कितने ही शरीर को तो क्लेश उत्पन्न करते हैं और वहां हिंसादिक उत्पन्न करते हैं, वह कषाय आदि प्रवृत्ति से पंचाग्नि तो सॉरी तथा इस पावन साधन करते हैं वहां नेति धोती इत्यादि कार्यों में जलाधिक से हिंसादिक उत्पन्न करते हैं. कोई चमत्कार उत्पन्न हो तो उसमें मान अधिक बढ़ते हैं, वहां किंचित धर्म साधन नहीं है.
Yeah, all this I have no idea.
I don't know what is this neti dhoti ityadi कार्यों में.
It's flesh.
And
No,
also
anybody
here,
knows what this ritual is? There might be another ritual in.
नेति is the जो नाक से पानी डाल के दूसरे उससे निकालते हैं. That is तो योग का क्रिया.
वो अलग है. But then dhoti.
यहाँ क्या लेना देना है?
That is
the other thing over here, the other thing in the first, that second last paragraph, audhe muha jalte. What is audhe muha jalte?
नहीं, उसमें आगे लिखा है ना, वो जल आदि से जो हिंसादिक उत्पन्न होते हैं. तो बेसिकली जब वो आप ये क्रिया कर रहे हो नेति की, तो वो थ्रेड होता है जिससे आप नोज को क्लीन भी करते हो जब पानी डाल रहे हो तब. तो वो
All they're saying is don't connect that to dharma. Those are more for body, whatever yoga. I mean, sorry, ये जो Ayurveda. If you do those camps, they make you do all these things. But what they're saying is कि किसी से हो रहा है, किसी से नहीं हो रहा है. तो जिससे हो रहा है वो मान कषाय हो जाता है उसको. Oh wow, see, I can do this, or other person cannot do it. So basically, they're saying is none of these are dharmic activities. Dharmic activities are the ones that reduce your rag, dvesh, vishay, kashai. So that should be your general principle in general. That whatever you're indulging in, if it is increasing your vishay, kashai, rag, dvesh, it's going towards non-dharmic activity. If it's reducing, then it is going towards dharmic activity.
So Prabhaji, what does aundhe
means or ulte muh, like you down like that.
Upside down?
Upside down face, yeah.
And what is urdha bahu?
Urdha means up and bahu means arm.
Arms.
Yeah.
Arms up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where are you seeing this? Oh, I see it.
Second last paragraph. And what is the last paragraph? It says Tatha Pavan Sadhan Karte. What is Pavan Sadhan?
I'm assuming it is just one of those either you air releasing activity or nose cleaning. This
योग
yeah, ये सब आयुर्वेदा में होती हैं इस तरह की चीजें. And see what is happening is a lot of people, like I have a friend, she's a very big yoga master, okay? पर जब भी मैं उसको बात करती हूँ तत्व ज्ञान की, अरे प्रभा, मैं जो करती वो एग्जैक्टली वही है. Because they consider this Ayurveda learning as religious thinking. उनको लगता है कि वो धर्म ही कर रहे हैं. So that is wrong.
Ma'am, it can be a part of dharma, not complete dharma. Some
No.
science.
Some science is a body science. So keep the body science separate from the soul science.
Right. But maybe just to make your body fit enough, you know.
Yeah, I mean that is okay. निमित्त नैमित्तिक संबंध है, पर बॉडी करा नहीं सकती आपको. तो वो क्लैरिटी तो अपने दिमाग में होनी चाहिए ना. Whereas these Ayurveda people don't have that clarity. And they think कि वो जो टेक्निक कर रहे हैं that is taking them to moksha. No, it's not.
One other thing they mentioned as Kudharma is ending life by suicide because they want to परलोक में इष्ट की इच्छा से they are driven to commit suicide.
That is
and
what the
that is
Musalman
not,
do, na? वो तो है ही.
हाँ.
Yeah, we know
So
that
all
already.
that is not,
That
all
all
that
is
is Kudharma. Now, in
So
Jain
see
Dharma,
why this chapter will help you. Let us say your kid understood this chapter. कि none of this is dharma. अब वो, you know, there's these rumors about the Muslims, they take these naive children, वो अपने कैंप में डाल देते हैं, ISI के कैंप में, और उनको you know ट्रेनिंग देना शुरू कर देते हैं. And then they're so brainwashed. I just somebody I saw this movie Fighter. उसमें दिखाते हैं कि वो वीडियो उसका आता है. By the time you see this movie, I would have already reached Swarg and this and that. Because he's brainwashed. If he does the suicide bombing, he's going to go to Swarg. And being with Apsaras. So their concept of dharma is totally wrong. Being with Apsara, how can that be dharma? But that's what they're taught.
yeah, but those are also people that have twisted their original dharma to their own purpose.
That's
which
true.
has happened in Jains too and in Hindus too, and whatever other religion, there'll always be people who want to be in power and they will co-opt the religion to their own.
That's why it's each
needs.
individual's responsibility to find the truth and to find the truth. Yes.
Now, this is seen in Jain Dharma as well due to Kal Dosh. And what
it's possible.
And what they have this explained, what are the Kudharms that even Jainis do is they don't act with Sanyam during Jain Parva. So Jain Parva is a time of reflection on the soul and solitude and creating peace, but people do big celebrations, you know, instead
So
of.
for example, 8 days of Paryushan.
Yeah.
Then they throw in this Janma Vanchan. What is that? 8 days of Paryushan, you are doing nicely. Ambil koi kar raha hai, koi upvas kar raha hai, koi, you know, lectures sunne ja raha hai. You know, that's the normal thing people do in 8 days, right? But then somebody, you know, I don't know how this came about. All of a sudden you have this Mahavir Janma Vanchan where everybody's gathering in the temple, doing big puja, eating, all that.
Yeah, so next thing is that.
I wonder if that was just thrown in there because people are basically ragi and they need a reason to gather, they need a reason to eat together, whatever. Because obviously it's not Mahavir Jayanti. In our temple, for the longest time, they kept calling it Mahavir Jayanti until my husband corrected them that this is not Mahavir Jayanti, it's Mahavir Janma Vanchan during Paryushan on the 5th day they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even in our temple, massive, I mean, they do Mahavir Jayanti. It's like, I mean, everybody dresses to the nines. There's like tons of
And
food.
I mean, there's only one Parva Paryushan, which seriously, if you could take it for just Vairagya Bhav, even that in the middle of that, they throw this in. So, you know.
And so they do talk about that not showing.
I don't know if the Digambar tradition has that. I don't think it does.
क्या चीज क्या मैम वापस पूछिए
ये जो श्वेतांबर में पर्यूषण के जो 8 दिन होते हैं ना, 10 लक्षण के पहले जो 8 दिन श्वेतांबर पर्यूषण होते हैं, तो 8 दिन ज्यादातर एक्टिविटीज तो ठीक चलती रहती है, कई लोग 28 कर रहे हैं, कोई 5 कर रहा है, 6 कर रहा है, फिर रोज स्वाध्याय लेक्चर्स होते हैं, लेक्चर्स में जाते हैं, और जो मूर्ति पूजा वाले हैं वो पूजा करते हैं सुबह, सो होल डे इज काइंड ऑफ स्पेंट इन माइल्ड एक्टिविटी व्हाटएवर। बट देन 5th डे, या यूएस में क्योंकि 5th डे वर्किंग डे होता है तो वीकेंड पे एक दिन दे विल हैव दिस, एवरीबडी कम्स, बड़ी पूजा होती है और फिर खाना होता है।
नहीं नहीं, ऐसा
तो
कुछ नहीं।
वैसा नहीं होता है ना, दिगंबरों में शायद नहीं होता है कुछ भी।
ना,
हाँ,
दिगंबर नहीं होता है, they only do the
में
10
until it finishes, उसके बाद
कर्मस।
पर्युषण उतार के बाद क्षमावनी का एक खाना होता है, समाज
हाँ,
का गेट टुगेदर होता है, दैट
Right.
इज लॉन्ग आफ्टर एवरीथिंग
Yeah.
गेट्स ओवर।
Correct.
okay. So,
Then,
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So these are all,
But Prabhaji, like I told you before, right? In our temple for the thing, when they do the puja, then they will have like bundi ka laddu and some other thing that's white. I'm going to take a picture this time. So I
yeah,
can
yeah, that's again, that's a कुरीति कि मोक्ष लाडू को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए मोक्ष फल को वो लड्डू चढ़ाने लग गए, कहीं स्टार्ट हो गया, एंड इट कंटिन्यूज ऑन इन द दिगंबर परंपरा। यस,
right. The next thing in Jain dharma that people might do is during they do vrat during parvas, but then they want to eat delicious food and they engage in teasing and fun activities. They may even do gambling. The next point they mentioned is lighting lamps at night because they want to do puja at night. But lighting lamps is hinsa activity. Then when they go to temple, they start chit-chatting with people instead of acting in proper decorum for a temple. And other thing is sometimes they go and sleep in the temple. And I have never seen that, but they mentioned it.
you go in the lecture and you'll see
Oh
5-10%
yeah,
people
that way falling asleep. Got it. Next, they said is having temples and then having gardens around the temples because they want to have people have a peaceful feeling. But this is all Vishay Kashay ka feeding. So they are saying it is wrong actually to do it like that. Create a temple and then make a big garden around it. The other things.
हालांकि जैनों में कम प्रचलित है ये सब चीजें, but they can increase if people don't understand these things.
Actually, it is. If you think about Siddhachalam, it has a big garden complex for Zen meditation. So that would be a wrong thing over there. In New
Yes.
Jersey, it is there.
Especially
like
if
that.
they're doing lawn mowing and all that. Yes.
They are. And I think there are some things that are not right. So the thing with this is when you notice that some things are, because previously now we've studied, if some things are wrong, then you should reject the whole because
Yes.
it is a bad apple, and then
Yes.
taking a
And
bite of that will
also,
make you sick.
lot of these are coming because of competition. कि अगर हिंदू मंदिर, whatever the
Yeah. Baps Mandir.
Swaminarayan Mandir are beautiful with gardens and fountains and this and that. So sometimes Jain temples might want to compete and start those things in their temples, and
Right.
which should not be allowed.
Because see, the idea of it is only wrong. Competition करने की idea ही जैन नहीं है. It starts over there, and then it is doing all this false dharma activities. The next thing they mentioned over here is treating a lobhi person as a guru and then giving charity to them. And lastly, having devotion for a lobhi guru. These are all the dharma activities seen done by Jaini people also. So
Yes.
the question,
even though these things are still relatively less prevalent in Jains, but we have to be very careful that we Jains don't go towards that. क्या होता है ना, कई बार when it is very prevalent in the samaj that you are in, then you think, oh, what is wrong in doing that? Let's also do that, without thinking of the consequences or thinking that it is pap and unnecessary you're bringing on these to yourself.
So now, how did this mithyatva come about? So what they are talking is Tattva Shraddhan needs us to give up rag, and that is dharma. If
Yes.
what we are practicing is increasing our dharma, then it is kudharma and mithyatva.
Right.
The one who worships, the person who's worshipping out of fear that, oh, if I don't do this, and then something bad will happen to my family, that's doing something out of fear. Or if you're doing it out of shame, like, oh, मेरी पूरी family कर रही है, मैंने नहीं किया, तो बदनाम हो जाएंगी family करके. The last is if you're doing it for मान, अरे सब मुझे वाह वाह करेंगे कि मैंने ये किया, then all that is falling under mithya drishti. Now the person who gives up ku guru, ku dharma and ku dev gives up mithyatva. And this is seen in the 25 things that one has to give up if they want to achieve Samyak Darshan. They've said there is somewhere we read about the 25 things we have to follow. What is it called? I forget the word.
I'm also, it's like almost on the tip of my tongue. And I cannot
I knew we've done this. There's a word and then
अनायतन तो नहीं है, 25 अनायतन नहीं.
वो अपन ने 6 ढाला में किया था.
Yes.
I don't know what the word is, but there is that word for that.
Yeah.
And then lastly, giving up Kudev worship is worse than Pap. Giving up Kudev worse than Pap from Hinsa.
No.
Kudev worship, sorry.
Doing Kudev, yeah.
Doing Kudev worship is worse than Pap from Hinsa. And it results in Jeev going to Nigodh and Narak Gati. Now in Jain Dharma, they show us the path to letting go of the big pap first. Then you let go of the small paps. Those who are afraid of these results who are afraid of going to Nigodh and Narak should give up Grahit Mithyatva. Staying with Grahit Mithyatva for sake of praise or to avoid criticism are signs of weakness and is not appropriate in a Jain person. The end for my part.
Okay, so very good. So now, couple things. So one is they said giving up bigger pap first, and then, so let's say you are not able to give up this rag, singing, whatever the case may be, right? Okay. So like I told you, I went to this New Year Eve party, right? In Jaipur, PTST ke piche, one of my classmates lives there, and she invited me to the New Year's Eve party. Party nahi, matlab whatever. So, so what did they do? एक तो उन्होंने they tried to follow the best they could. They did very shodh ka khana, which means the masalas were within the 3 days. Atta was like freshly done everything. So that was the positive side of it. That even though they were doing a get together, but they used that opportunity to follow the proper dharma of khana bhi pura अच्छे से shodh ka banaya tha उन्होंने. But then after the dinner, they had bhajan activities, right? So bhajan hi ga rahe the, Muni ke bhajan and all those things. And then they were playing games in relation to that and all those things. So, okay. So that in some way is a rag activity, right? You're singing, you're joking around while playing games, things like that. So you can say कि हाँ वो भी वैसे तो पाप एक्टिविटी है, बट वहां पर देन यू अप्लाई द रूल की बड़ा पाप आप डिस्को में चले जाते न्यू ईयर्स ईव पार्टी करने के लिए, उससे ये छोटा पाप है relatively, because this party had lot of young couples with little kids, so they probably figured कि if they don't do this kind of get together for that age group, it will be very dry and they may get attracted to doing those other activities. Because you see the whole world is doing New Year पे something, और then एक दूसरे को पूछते भी हैं youngsters, तो New Year Eve पे इस साल क्या कर रहे हो, this, that. So they may have come up with a good solution to that. Yes, you have a place to go, yet you're going to be in control, you're going to sing bhajans, और अगर आप तत्व वाले games खेलोगे, तो you're in a better activity than going to a disco or something else. So that sentence that you read about, कि पहले बड़ा पाप छुड़ाते हैं, कम से कम वो डिस्को वगैरह में तो मत जाओ पहले, फिर छोड़ सको तो ये भी छोड़ दो.
Ma'am, here there is a term named Amnai. What is the meaning of Amnai?
परंपरा, बेसिकली आमनाय मतलब परंपरा. तो देखो तीव्र मोह के उदय में क्या होता है कि धर्म के नाम पर भी कई बार मिथ्यात्व का पोषण हो जाता है. So you don't want to do that. That's why the most important thing is to तत्व विचार, तत्व निर्णय वो करना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी। द रेस्ट विल ऑटोमेटिकली फॉलो, क्योंकि आपका मन ही नहीं होगा। जब आपको पता है कि ये करने से मैं नरक जाने वाली हूं, तो ऑटोमेटिकली मन नहीं होगा ना करने का उस तरह की एक्टिविटीज। और मोह की महिमा तो
Ideally,
है ही।
प्रभाजी, आइडियली इट शुडंट इवन बी कि नरक के डर से मैं ये कर रही हूँ। आइडियली इट शुड बी मुझे मेरे आत्मा
डर
के
से नहीं,
स्वभाव
बट
के पास
राइट,
जाना है, इसलिए मैं ये
हाँ,
कर रही हूँ।
राइट।
आइडियली आई एम सेइंग।
But Narak in the sense ki if I'm stuck in Narak for 33, whatever, how long, that you should be fearful of that. That I'm delaying my moksha for that long. It's a huge, long, long time to be in it.
Yeah,
So,
versus I just don't want to be in, right? I mean, I think that's the point that you're making, right, Hemal?
right. So versus taking another small
Correct.
bhav and come back to Manushya and have another chance of continuing on, you know. So, तो इसलिए स्वर्ग की भी चाह करनी अच्छी नहीं है। Once you get thrown in the स्वर्ग, you're there for a very long time. So अगर ये ज्ञान हमें नहीं होता, तो हम तो क्या सोचते कि चलो स्वर्ग ही मिल जाए, इस जन्म में मोक्ष तो है नहीं, तो चलो ऐसे काम कर लो, इतना ढेर सारा दान दे दो, कम से कम स्वर्ग तो चले जाएंगे। तो पर वो इच्छा करने योग्य नहीं है।
Prabhaji, what does this sentence mean? It's in the on page 192. It's right after the prayer they have, in bold.
कोई निंदा करता है तो निंदा करो, स्तुति करता है तो स्तुति करो, लक्ष्मी आओ वह जहां तहां जाओ, तथा अभी मरण हो वह युगांतर में हो, परंतु नीति में निपुण पुरुष न्याय मार्ग से एक डग भी चलित नहीं होते। So those who understand the true religion. So for example, when my husband goes to the temple, right? We go to the temple just to associate with the Jains, right? But if he doesn't like what's going on, like the puja rituals, or if the bhajans are not proper, he just goes in the back and he's standing doing his own, either takes a book and reads or whatever. Now, even I have sometimes objected, like, you look so odd, आके आप इतना पीछे खड़े रहते हो या बैठ के like पढ़ रहे हो कुछ भी, and you're like directly insulting these people who are बेचारे आके पूजा वूजा कर रहे हैं, right? It sounds like that. But what they're saying is कि जो नीति में निपुण पुरुष होगा वो न्याय मार्ग से नहीं डगेगा। ये नहीं कि भाई कोई निंदा कर रहा है तो let me just join this wrong puja, like that. तो या फिर you just go with the भेड़ चाल, कोई उसकी निंदा कर रहा है तो अपन भी निंदा कर लो, कोई उसकी स्तुति कर रहा है कि ये वो पारसनाथ मेरे विद्मुंड, क्या है, कोई कोई भजन है ना, माथे मुकुट और कान में कुंडल whatever, तो वो वैसी स्तुति कर रहे हैं तो अपन भी कर लो। So don't be the भेड़ चाल।
I think the key here is in chapter 4, we had learned that to recognize right religion, it has to help us increase our Shraddha and Tattva. It has to decrease our Rag and Dvesh, and it has to bring us Sukh. There were three things that anything has to satisfy. And that is
Exactly.
the
And
test.
those always put it on your fridge. ये वो रोज देखो उसको, ये 3 requirements meet हो रहे हैं कि नहीं, मैं जो भी एक्टिविटी कर रही हूँ उसमें।
That was very well said, Hemal. Say it again.
The 3 things to follow as Tattva Shraddhan is increasing or not, Rag Dvesh is decreasing or not, and we are experiencing Sukh. That is lack of Akulta at our stage, because we are right now dependent on Indriya. I think Prabhaji told us to memorize this and use it as a test for things that we do. And I think take us away from Ku Guru, Ku Dev, and Ku Dharma. It's in chapter 4 under that Prayojan Bhut. What is Prayojan Bhut? I can tell you which page also. It's on page 79. It is the fourth last paragraph.
Good job, Hemal.
Thank
So
you.
everybody should underline that and Like really write it down and stick it somewhere where you can see it again and again.
Oh, I think, yeah, this was asked to be underlined, I think, last
Yeah,
Yeah,
time.
I
she only
definitely
told us this
downloaded
is
it
very
and-
important
Yeah.
in that book on that page. But this is how it connects to what we have studied in this chapter.
So, very interesting now. Now I'm recollecting, there are certain these gurus who give some gyan and all. So
Mhm.
this three question also that somebody said that, okay, you decide ये सही है कि नहीं. So means, what they did is Hindu. So I think they just converted into, because sahi means what is sahi, but actually tattva siddhant, which they are not telling.
Yes. Right. तो वो भाई क्या होता है ना, कई बार ये लोग सही वर्ड बोल देते हैं. अब दुनिया को तो कुछ पता ही नहीं है. जब ज्ञान ही नहीं है तो सही गलत का तो डिफरेंस ही नहीं पता है.
Prabhaji, are we starting chapter 8 today?
Yeah,
or
we should
what would-
start chapter today. It's 10:30, 12. Okay, how long you want this class to be?
I
have
hadn't said
postpone
it
it
would
to
be a
tomorrow?
2 hours. I said it, I didn't state 1.5 or 2 hours for today. So it's your choice.
So let us decide right now. If you want to take another half an hour, then we'll start the chapter. We'll go through a few pages. Otherwise, we'll start it tomorrow.
Do we start tomorrow, please? Please. I'm being very selfish. So, I mean, everybody else can do whatever, but yeah.
What about
I'll be
Rashmi?
missing, I'll be missing tomorrow's class. I'm traveling. I'm going to Mumbai.
How about we do introduction of the Atva Adhikar? Let's do at least
Okay,
that much
let's
so
do
we know
that.
what to
हम
expect in the chapter.
अनुयोगों का प्रयोजन तक चले जाते हैं.
हाँ.
Actually, first few pages should be pretty easy because they're talking about the char anuyog, which you guys know pretty well.
Wait, so the
Let's
Sattva,
do a quick read.
We skip Satwa, we go to Atva.
Yeah.
Satwa is in the
Tattva is a bigger
semester.
chapter and more important. That's why they've moved it to another
Now
semester.
it's quite a big chapter. Just now I was counting the pages.
I know.
Yeah, it is almost
Big.
almost
Even
100
the
pages.
eighth one, even the eighth one is quite big, 60 pages, I guess.
there is no small chapter in MokshMarg Prakashak, okay?
I
No
know.
small chapter.
But
Chalo, let's do
believe
the
me, this
Atva.
book is like the ultimate Bible. I mean, it's almost like
But it is good.
should
It is
know
good.
at least ये 3-4 जो chapters हम कर रहे हैं ना, 3, 4, ये 6, 7, 8, these are very important to read
All
again.
chapters, even chapter 1 is important because what
Oh,
I
yeah,
did in
all
my
of them.
chapter 6 notes is I went and put the characteristics of Bhagwan, characteristics of Guru, characteristics of
nice.
Shastra into my
But what-
chapter 6 because now you
But
know
I
what
feel-
this is and what it's not. Both are there at the same time. I'll
Very
share
good.
my notes so you all can read the contrast and compare. Part
Okay.
of
Yeah,
it.
put it on the social thing so that
Yeah,
way
I'll do that.
whoever
Thank
wants
you.
to.
I'll
Very
do that. So,
Okay, chalo, let's go through a couple of pages. Who wants to
couple of
read?
paragraphs, Papaji. The
Okay.
first paragraph, till Anuyog.
Hmm.
आठवां अधिकार, उपदेश का स्वरूप. अब मिथ्या दृष्टि जीवों को मोक्ष मार्ग का उपदेश देकर उनका उपकार करना यही उत्तम उपकार है. तीर्थंकर गंधर आदिक भी ऐसा ही उपकार करते हैं. इसलिए इस शास्त्र में भी उन्हीं के उपदेशानुसार उपदेश देते हैं. यहाँ उपदेश का स्वरूप जानने के अर्थ कुछ व्याख्यान करते हैं, क्योंकि उपदेश को यथावत न पहचाने तो अन्यथा मानकर विपरीत प्रवर्तन करे. इसलिए उपदेश का स्वरूप कहते हैं. जिनमत में उपदेश 4 अनुयोग के द्वारा दिया है. प्रथम अनुयोग, कर्णानुयोग, चरणानुयोग, द्रव्यानुयोग, यह 4 अनुयोग है. वहां तीर्थंकर चक्रवर्ती आदि महान पुरुषों के चारित्र का जिसमें निरूपण किया हो वह प्रथम अनुयोग है, तथा गुणस्थान मार्गणादि रूप जीव का व कर्मों का व त्रिलोकादि का जिसमें निरूपण हो वह करुणानुयोग है, तथा गृहस्थ मुनि के धर्म आचरण करने का जिसमें निरूपण हो वह चरणानुयोग है, तथा षट द्रव्य सप्त तत्वादिक का व स्व पर भेद विज्ञान आदिक का जिसमें निरूपण हो वह द्रव्यानुयोग है।
Chalo. So so you got the gist of what is coming in this chapter, right?
Yes.
I think it should be an easy read because we have already done Charana Yoga in quite detail. When we did it in I don't know which semester or which book, but I think because I have this in the back of my mind, I keep adding things when I teach you from these chapters also, even though it was not necessary at the time. So some of it will be repetition. Okay. So why don't we do this? Tomorrow, we all read up to page 271. All 4 चीजों का प्रयोजन. Which I know, I'm pretty sure I've covered it in class in the past semesters.
71. Okay.
Yes. Dolly ji, do you want to summarize these 3-4 pages tomorrow? Can you?
I'm not sure, Hemalji.
Who do we have? Bindu ji, you've already done it. Amita ji has done it. Nipa, do you want to do it? Will you be able to? Tulika ji has done it. Nipa.
Yeah, I can do it tomorrow.
Okay,
Till
good.
271.
Thank you. Yes, up to 171.
271.
It should be fairly easy.
271.
It's
I
going to be,
apologize.
हमने जो वीतराग विज्ञान 3 या जिसमें भी ये था 4 अनुयोगों का, I have covered in detail at that time with you guys. So it will be fairly repetitive. But it is important chapter again, this is going to help us again how to take what is the reason for saying the same things in 4 different ways, why they put it like this. So pura is chapter mein wo aayega.
Yes. So Nipa will summarize for that. We don't need to summarize anything in chapter 6. I think we've finished.
Yeah,
all
I think chapter 6 we are good. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and wo jo you share your notes, and people, when she shares the notes, the ones that she has taken from the previous chapter, Sache Dev Guru Dharma ka Swaroop, jo uske notes, plus the 3 things, how to judge yourself, which direction you're going. Everybody should just use that as a summary to upload. And then we'll add जो 8th chapter का, that way आपकी मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक की summary भी हो जाएगी. And I want you guys to have it in such a form that you should be able to go back and say कि okay, 6th or 8th chapter में I've covered उसके पहले का भी, and these are the key points that I really need to take with me. चलो, okay. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है. इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है.